Zion, congratulations on the honor. Obviously, it's a big award, but you're also a huge competitor. What are some of the emotions attached to being here, accepting the award, but not participating in the Final Four?
I am honored that I was selected for this award. I see it as a team award, like I said, because my teammates always pushed me to be here, and so did the coaches. But yeah, I am a competitor. I wish I was here under different circumstances, but I mean, you win some, you lose some, so you just got to move on.
Next question in that same area, Jeff.
Jeff Borzello, ESPN. Zion, you've faced all four teams that are in the Final Four. So A, I'm going to ask you who would be your pick to win it all, but also, if not, what's sort of the one big thing that stood out to you about each of the four teams?
I'm not going to select any team because obviously I want it to be us. I wish all those teams the best of luck. They compete hard and somebody's going to come out on top. But what stood out about Virginia was how they can control the pace of the game. I don't think I've ever seen them frustrated. So they control the game very well. Texas Tech, their defense, they took like 9-10 charges against us. Their defense was probably the best played against. Michigan State, they ran motion offense very great. When the first option wasn't there, they kept running through their plays, and they eventually found open shots. In Auburn's a fast-paced team that can shoot the three ball very well, and they're very aggressive.
Next question to the right of the aisle.
Oscar, when you came along, you kind of transcended what people had thought a player your size could or should do. Zion, similarly, has kind of changed what we think of a player his size can do. What did you think watching him? Obviously, you guys are different kinds of players, but what did you think watching him and kind of change what we were thinking of players like that?
Well, when I watched Zion, I watched his footwork and his intelligence when he went into the basket because everyone was after him. There was no double team him and triple team him and do all these things to try to keep him from around the basket. He's so gifted. He's just so quick and so high. It's just difficult for any one person to guard him. And as I said before, he's going to get better when he gets it to the next level, which I'm happy about.
In that same area of the room, Adam.
Zion, congratulations on all your success this year. It was a lot of fun covering you. I think we all feel that way. The ESPN did have a report this week that there were certain NBA teams you might not want to play for. Then they said it was kind of an April Fool's joke. Have you thought about what's next for you, and are there any NBA teams you wouldn't want to play for?
Whatever NBA team I land on, that's the team that's where I want to be. Whoever drafts me, that's where I want to be. And what was the other question?
Knicks, or would you have any problem playing for them?
Would I be? Yes, if they draft me, I would love to play for them.
In the back of the room, to the right of the aisle.
Congrats, Zion. So I was wondering, do you have any specific off-season plans?
Just enjoy college with my friends and teammates, and sit down with my family and discuss what our next move will be.
All the way in the back to the center. And reporters, please remember your names and media affiliations before your question.
Zach Griffith, Sports Capital Journalism. Zion, I'm just wondering, how much of an influence has Coach K been on you this year, and what specifically has he done to help you acclimate to the college level?
He's had a big influence on me. Just everything he taught the team, throughout the season, how to handle different situations, how to prepare for different things. And one thing that stood out to me with adjusting to the college game was he told me the game was so simple that it's crazy. So he would break down film about how simple the game could be. And you wouldn't see it when you're on the court, but when you're watching it on film, the game is very simple.
All the way up front, all the way to the right. Is that Alec?
Alec Kevikungen with Shriners Hospitals for Children. What's up, Zion? Previous winners of this prestigious award include big names like Michael Jordan and Kevin Durant. What does it mean to you to be mentioned in the same category as some of the best players to ever compete in the NBA?
I mean, it's a huge honor to be in a category with those names. Just gotta thank God for that. Like, it's very humbling to be in that category.
Up front in that same area, front row though, Chris from St. Paul.
Yeah, hi, Chris Thomas in St. Paul Pioneer Press, but I'm also helping out the Spartanburg paper. What can you say to the folks back in Spartanburg? I mean, they haven't had a big-time basketball player come out of there. How do you hope to maybe put Spartanburg on the map?
Yeah, I did go to high school in Spartanburg, but I originally grew up in Florence, South Carolina, so it's kind of hard on which one I'm really putting on the map, I guess. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's just me doing this for Spartanburg, because there's been a lot of great players that come through there. But, I mean, it does mean a lot that I have an impact on Spartanburg.
Up front on the left side.
Jack Hebling from Spotlight Radio Network and Fox 47. Zion, I don't know what the vertical is on that trophy, but it's pretty good. What does it mean to you to win an award like this, named for one of the greatest players in basketball history?
I mean, it means a lot because, like you said, he's one of the greatest to do it, and I have a lot of respect for him. And, I mean, me being selected for this, like, I can't put it into words. Like, the fact that he would take notice of me is crazy to me. So I'm, like, very grateful that they selected me for this.
Continuing with questions for Zion or Oscar or Joe or David, if anyone has any further questions? Any final questions? We'll go back up front to Chris.
Yeah, just to follow up, I know you're disappointed that Duke couldn't be here for the Final Four. As you kind of look back, on the game, why do you think you guys weren't able to take the final step? I mean, was it inexperience? Was it maybe defensive breakdowns, or why do you feel you weren't able to eventually get here?
I mean, they just executed their plays better than us towards the end of the game. Like I said earlier, they were running a motion offense, and when the first shot wasn't there, they didn't get pressed. They remained calm, and eventually they would find a decent shot. And, Winston he kind of controlled the game. Like, he took over at one point, so, like, congrats to Michigan State. Like, I wish them the best of luck.